Well, I think we can get started, and if people do come on, we'll admit them into the meeting. We always like to remind people that we are recording this for cable. So if you would prefer not to be shown or to not have your name on the screen, this is the time to turn off your video. And we're so glad to welcome you back, the new sheriff, Patrick McDermott. Maybe not so new, but the first time you're back since you
Absolutely.
have that title that you've earned. So welcome back, and looking forward to hearing what's going on with the Norfolk County Sheriff.
Beautiful. Want me to dive right in? Cool. Well, it's great to be back to the Walpole Council on Aging meeting. I've been there several times over the years. In my prior role as Register of Probate and talking about wills and trusts and guardianships and things of that nature. And so I still have that knowledge pool. If people still have questions on that matter, I'm happy to answer those kind of questions. But I'm really excited to kind of be with you for the first time as the new Norfolk County Sheriff. I've been on the job now for a couple of months. I think we're in week 10 or 11 right now, and it has been a really eye-opening experience, to say the least. It's a very vibrant and busy organization at the sheriff's office. You know, our day-to-day job is the care and custody of the average of 350 to 360 men. We don't have any female prisoners here, but it's between that and the various divisions we have in terms of civil process, our community outreach programs, and there's a whole host of things to learn. So I'm doing a little on-the-job training, but luckily I have a fantastic staff that we've brought on board, and the current staff that is here have been fantastic in the transition. So far so good. Knock on wood, we haven't had any hiccups along the way. So I'm really excited to be here. And looking forward to sharing with you a couple of things about what we're doing at the Sheriff's Office. So I think, Dan, do you have access to share your screen? My assistant, Dan Manning, is going to, we have a little bit of a slide presentation.
I'm going to grant you permission now, okay?
Perfect. And I have no idea what he made up, so I haven't even previewed this myself. So hopefully it's appropriate.
I hope it's appropriate now that I'm giving blanket permission here.
Dan is a good man.
Thank you, Sheriff. As Sheriff said, my name is Dan Manning. I'm in the Sheriff's Office, taking on the role as the Director of External Affairs, and we have been blessed with and inheriting quite a robust set of programming, particularly geared towards seniors. And we were looking forward to getting some old programs restarted, and hopefully starting some new programs with the help of you all. And with your input and participation, we'll be able to bring all kinds of new public safety programs to the communities. So this is the public safety programs for older adults in Norfolk County. We just met the sheriff. There's a little bit of his bio that we've kind of covered his background a little bit. He's a Quincy resident, elected just recently in 2020 to sheriff. As you know, he was the registered probate, and prior to that, he was a Quincy City Councilor and went to Suffolk Law, BC, and BC High. In the sheriff's office, aside from just serving as the agent of care and custody for incarcerated and pretrial inmates in Norfolk County, it also has a very important role as the lead office for public safety matters across the county in all 20 communities in Norfolk County. And by working with local law enforcement and health and human services agencies, like the local council on aging, the NCSO hopes to meet residents and learn about the unique challenges each community face, and use those experiences to optimize services and programming that we can share across the county with towns that are having similar issues or concerns. Specifically with our old, aging population or older adult population, there are some areas that the sheriff's office has historically covered, with like health and life safety in the home, with the File of Life program and the RUFK program, as well as the Yellow Dot Files program. The Yellow Dot and File for Life programs are similar in that we provide some materials for older adults to keep some of their emergency information available, whether in the home, in the car, or on their person. So that way, if they run into a medical emergency or like, the first responders will have that information and understand some of the challenges they may have when receiving medical treatment. Also, economic safety has been on the forefront with this office for a very long time, with training around scam programs, which target older adults. And then finally, there's a nationally recognized Triad Program, which partners older adults with law enforcement, fire department, and the councils on aging. Well, it's going to run through these. There's a lot of words on these. I don't really read from the slides, but I'm happy to share this with the council on aging. You can feel free to share this out afterwards. Kind of one of our big programs that we run is the RUFK program. It's pretty unique. I'm not sure if any other county is running it in the state right now, but it's a calling service that the sheriff's department partners with Fallon Ambulance in Quincy, where we have a deputy sheriff who mans a line that makes auto-generated calls to seniors and other folks to make sure that they have a check-in during the day. And if there's no response, then the deputy sheriff will attempt to make contact. And if that's not possible, then they will then dispatch a first responder or reach out to a family member or both. And hopefully we can help the person that might be in need. And since Sheriff McDermott has taken office in January, we've had 3 instances where this hotline has saved the lives of 3 seniors. Most recently, I believe a week and a half ago was the latest. If any seniors want to sign up for this program, they can do so by calling 1-866-900-7865. Again, that's 1-866-900-7865. And if you call that, we'll enroll you in the program. And this is a great program, and it's really simple. And like I said, it's used to save a lot of lives. So if you're interested in that or know someone who might be interested in that, please don't hesitate to call us on that. So the next few slides are on the Triad program. I know you're all familiar with this, probably more familiar with it than I am because you're already working in this field. The Triad program is a partnership between the older adults in your community, the Council on Aging, law enforcement agencies, public safety agencies, including the Sheriff's Department, the District Attorney's Office, Fire Department, and Police Department. The goal here is to reduce crime activity which target older Americans and alleviate some of these fears about being victimized and improve the quality of life of folks in the community. And it also enhances delivery of law enforcement services to older folks. The Triad program really works best, it seems, when there's a SALT council put in place, which is SALT stands for seniors and law enforcement working together. And that council, like I said, includes all of those folks we just listed, as well as some other representatives of community and civic groups is also an option to have involved as well. And it would determine the needs of the community's senior population as they relate to any crime prevention and safety awareness and coordinate activities to meet those needs. So this is the goal of the Triad. It's to empower, educate, communicate, and forge links between our aging populations and the folks that serve them. We can all, as agencies like the Council on Aging and the Sheriff's Department and others, try to make determinations of what's best for residents, but nobody knows better than what the needs are than the residents themselves. So this conversation and these processes have to be a give and take from our own experiences and information we have, and more importantly, the experiences and concerns of the folks in the community. So as we continue to get out of this COVID situation and start growing these programs, we hope that we'll see some increased involvement in these programs with the seniors in Walpole and the rest of Norfolk County. As a result of these partnerships, regular contact with law enforcement and older adults and other agencies will occur, as well as better awareness of crime, some of those concerns that folks may have, and that they'll understand human service field and increase respect for the agencies and the members of the community. Human service providers will gain from improved distribution of services and more cooperation with other providers and better understanding of law enforcement and the challenges faced. Now, I know that was a whole mouthful of information. Long and short, we work together with you all, your agencies and your residents, to come up with solutions to address these public safety concerns. And obviously that the public safety concerns are evolving year to year now, and there's new new challenges folks face and new challenges society face. So we're trying to be in the best position to help alleviate some of that and address those issues as the lead public safety organization for the county. Basically, like I said, this organization is nationally recognized, and it needs to grow because we're up to 33 million senior citizens in the country right now, and you know, folks living longer now, and that number is going to continue to grow, and we'll see our populations of older adults in every community grow, and we need to use every resource we have to assess all the needs and limit the number of crimes that are geared towards victimizing seniors in your community. Part of one of the programs that has been very popular, I mentioned earlier, was the Yellow Dot program. This image is a copy of a sticker which is placed on your vehicle, and if you were to happen to run into a situation where you need medical attention or first responder attention while in your vehicle, our local agencies will know that you have a file in your car which lists all of your medical concerns, your doctor information, your contact information for your family members or whomever, whatever important people in your life that need to know that you're in a situation. These, you know, we just ordered a whole bunch more of these files, and we'll get them out to your COA as soon as possible. And if they'll be at the end of the slide, we'll have some direct contact info if you want to get them directly from us as well. File of life, same idea. This file goes on a magnet on your fridge, big red folder. So if someone has to come in your house and assist you, they'll see it, they'll know it's there. Or there's also a pocket size version of this, which fits right in your wallet or your purse, which you can carry around you. It has all the same important information that you would have on your Yellow Dot card. As I discussed earlier, there's a big focus on addressing scams which target our older population. Unfortunately, this is becoming more and more prevalent as technology increases and more of our population gets online, has access to the internet on our phones and whatnot, and unfortunately the bad guys get that access as well, and they figure out how to target certain groups of folks. There was a very unfortunate situation over in Hingham this past week where a couple had been duped into purchasing $17,000 worth of Target gift cards, and the scammer actually used the phone number of the chief of police of Hingham as a contact, stating that these gift cards were necessary for the community, and this scam, basically what happens is you go out and you buy gift cards, you bring them home, you scratch off a little number on the back, which allows you to make purchases online. And so that these folks were thinking they were talking to the chief of police officers, being good citizens, and were ripped off for $17,000. It's a big number. So I think that's why I made the news so prevalently. That said, you know, these scams could come in much smaller increments as well. And, you know, your money is your money. You worked your entire life to have it. And we want to make sure that they can't take a penny of your money through any of these nefarious acts. So as these new scams come out, we'll be sharing that information with your COAs. We can do it with you directly and also on our social media pages. And hopefully we're going to have some other points of contact with our communities as well very soon. All of these programs, which have been run, and other programs which we'll add, are all completely free to the residents of Norfolk County. We will have a staff member assigned very soon to work specifically on these programs with you all and your COAs and your other law enforcement agencies in your community. And again, it's very important that, you know, you get this word out to your peers in your community to make sure that they're also getting engaged, because the more of us that are made aware of these programs, the more of us that know all this information, the less likely it is that folks will be victimized. And that said, you can reach out to us directly or through your COA if you want to reach our division specifically on any questions about any of these programs or any ideas you may want to share with us, or programs that we may be we may not know about yet that you're all aware of, you can reach us at 781-751-3516. So if you want to reach out to us anytime, please do. We're here specifically to work with you and make sure that everyone in the county and your community feels that their public safety needs are being met by the Sheriff's Department and other agencies in your community. That is the extent of it. And hopefully we can answer any questions you may have. And I'm going to pass it back over to the sheriff, and I'm available if you have any questions for me as well.
All right, so we're gonna do the dual meeting.
Yes, I'm gonna mute.
All right, let's see what we got here. And stop sharing your screen, I guess.
I have a question.
Back up into, there it is, stop share.
All right, let's see what we got. I get my, all right, I think we're back in business here. All right, little quick delay. So I want to give Dan some credit. Dan is new to my staff. We actually stole Dan from Mayor Walsh in Boston. And, Mayor Walsh is heading down to Washington, D.C. Very soon as the Secretary of Labor. And so Dan must have had like a prediction of some kind, because he was, we landed Dan. He was my first hire back right around Thanksgiving. I brought Dan on board, so we're really excited. I've charged him with putting together a very robust and aggressive outreach program with a big focuses are going to be on our seniors and work with our councils on aging. Obviously, he went through some of the programs that are currently in existence. And as he said, we want to grow these programs to really make sure that they are meeting your needs. And he mentioned, a couple of the examples of why these programs are so important. They are unique, and they're not done in every different county. And I'm not aware of them being done anyplace else in Massachusetts. But that Are You OK program is, I think it's a life-saving, absolutely necessary program that everybody should participate in. And typically we talk about seniors that might be living alone, that may not have family checking in with them on a regular basis. But as Dan mentioned, this was last week or the week before, a 99-year-old woman living by herself fell in the bathroom. And so when our automated phone call went out, we didn't get a response. So Deputy Sheriff Cheryl Bambury called. Once again, didn't get another response. Immediately called family as well as first responders, and they found her on the floor in the bathroom. She had slipped the night before, and that's even scarier, because she had been on the floor for up to 10 hours before we found her. But for our phone call, tragedy could have occurred. And so she was immediately brought to South Shore Hospital, and she's on the mend. So that's just such a beautiful thing happening every day. What disappoints me about the program is the so few people are on it. And I forget, Dan, how many we have, but we only have about 200 people, which I know there's a lot of seniors out there that could use this program. And it just is it's a life-saving program that is a valuable thing. So we're going to be pushing out more information to as many areas as we can through the councils on aging, through the local news, direct mail pieces, because we think this is going to save multiple lives on any given basis. So that being said, I don't know if there was a couple of questions maybe. And yes, Linda.
Yes, I have a question. It might have already been answered and maybe I didn't catch it, but I know that that Dan said something about websites and numbers where we can get information about, where to get the information we're looking for. And what I like to say is that if there is like a big event that's within seniors, that it usually makes the news, like if there's a big scam going on. But what I want to know is that they're going to be, or is there already something going on that we could access, like say something happens within the senior citizen community, like a go-to place? Is there daily updates, weekly updates, and
Yeah, so the best place to probably go, like for at least for what we're doing on a daily, we have our website, but our websites are almost kind of like the fax machine or like a pager. They become our technology gets outdated very quickly, but certainly our website gives all of the information that you need. So norfolksheriff.com is the website. And that gets updated fairly regularly, but like I said, it's more informational there. Where you're going to get real live updated information, and we follow things daily on social media. If you have access to Facebook, which everybody should, Facebook is fun, but you can go follow the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office, and that is updated daily. So when we hear of something immediately, we usually update that. And so on Facebook, you can request on the page to get notified of updates. You know, if you don't mind getting updated. I mean, my wife drives her because she turns off all her updates. She doesn't like to hear of anything. But for those that are interested and want to say that this is something important to me, I want to get notified. So we update those. That's updated daily, so that we keep refreshing that. So that the Norfolk Sheriff's Facebook page is the best.
That's fine. Thank you. I can do that. And the other question I have, not anything related to do with older people or citizens, is that I think it's 2 years ago now. Kerry can confirm it. A large group of us took a tour of the Norfolk County Jail.
Great.
And I was under the impression at that time that they were about to accept female inmates. And I just want to know, did it happen? You said there's no females.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened, so that the immediate predecessor, Sheriff Jerry McDermott, no relation.
Right. Yeah.
Sheriff Jerry McDermott had initiated the option to potentially bring women back. Right now, all women who are sentenced or awaiting trial in Norfolk County currently are housed in Suffolk County facilities. They had been going to Framingham prison, which was horrible, and they did close that. And so Sheriff Tompkins has been gracious enough to house our female inmates at his location in Boston. And you know, the plan is in the works to have women come back to Norfolk County, or have a facility somewhere that we share with others. I mean, I'm working right now with Sheriff McDonald in Plymouth County to see whether or not there's some opportunity for us to share resources to actually build a facility for women. Now, the interesting thing for Norfolk County is the fact that we only have right now, I think there's a total of 9 women who are either sentenced or awaiting trial. I think, and 4 out of the 9 women are awaiting trial for murder, so hard cases. But and there's a real need when you put together a women's program in corrections facilities. You need a totally separate medical staff, because the needs of a woman prisoner are far different than the needs of a male. And you need, a separate, obviously a separate facility, and there's a whole separate programming thing. And none of that is an excuse of why we aren't doing it, because we intend to do something. I think that the programming that I've read about, I've been working with Dove, Domestic Violence Ended out of Quincy. A lot of crime that's occurred. It's even the murder charges. A lot of times it's women that are involved, sadly, in domestic violence issues, and that was their only way out. Sometimes it's a sad and tragic circumstance, but then there's the underlying issues, of crime, anyways, in general, and it's male or female, has to do with addiction and mental health issues. And so there's different programming that women are going to need than men do. So right now, I'll say that right now we're not ready to accept female prisoners, but it's something I promised that we would not just look into, but that we would come up with some kind of solution to make it fair for those female inmates that are currently being housed in Boston.
Right. Thank you.
And we hope to welcome back folks at some point post-COVID to have more tours. People love going to tours, and they love, they do. There's some great interactions with some of our prisoners that come out and speak to the seniors and speak to our guests. And that's part of their rehabilitation as well. And it's just as good for our inmates to see people touring the facility as it is for folks to make sure that, all of our tours are not just for entertainment purposes. They're really a check to make sure that we're doing our job, and I welcome feedback as to making sure that the sheriff's office is meeting the needs of the residents that we serve. And certainly taking a tour can indicate how clean our facility is, how responsive our team is, and what kind of programs we work on, so that the people that leave our facility are better off when they go back to the town of Walpole than they were when they came into our facility. And that's my goal. Oh,
May I have?
Irene,
that-
there we go. Yes.
May I have that phone number for Are You Okay?
Yes. Where is that? It's not in front of me right now. Dan, do we have that Are You Okay number? Well,
I missed it.
no, we want to make sure you get it. Well, I know it's 1-866
1-866-900
900
7865.
7865.
I didn't get it.
Oh, okay. Let's do it again. 1-866 900 7865. I'm gonna have to memorize that number because I know I'm gonna be giving it out quite a bit over the course of my career here. 'Cause it's
Okay,
such a great
thank you.
program. You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions or comments? And I'm hoping too that one of the things that I enjoyed doing as register of probate back when Sheriff Bellotti was the sheriff, he had quite an outreach program with our seniors, and I'll never forget. I don't think I attended it in Walpole, but I know I went to Dedham to one of his picnics that he had, and it was a public safety picnic. And I couldn't believe there were 700 people there. I guess when you're giving out free burgers and dogs, everybody shows up. So I'm hoping to get back into the picnic business as COVID opens up. I'd say yesterday was a great day. St. Patrick's Day, I had a chance to go around. I was in, I think 9 or 10 different communities yesterday. A lot of the councils on aging, were giving out meals and stuff, and we were able to entertain the guests. But it was great to go to. We were over in Dedham, and they had a coffee with the, with the COA, and in Dedham and in Braintree, both were able to have like an outdoor gathering, which was nice, and everybody, stayed socially distant, masked up. But it was so nice to see so many seniors coming out, because I know that as a a vulnerable population under the COVID pandemic that we've had, it was just so nice to see people coming out, now having been through the vaccination process, really feel a little bit more secure. So we're almost towards the end of this. So I'm hoping that if it's this summer, or maybe into the fall, we're going to get back out to. I want to see all you in person. That's my goal.
What has the climate been like in the prisons themselves, or in the prison itself?
It was, when I became sheriff, it was our first test because we had 2 major outbreaks with COVID. Luckily the staff, they're very well trained, and we implemented an emergency procedure. We had to go into a lockdown. Of course, the inmates don't like lockdowns, but I got to give the inmates credit. They recognize the danger that COVID poses, and none of them want to get sick. So when that happened, we had up to, at one point, I think 80 inmates were COVID positive. So we had to lock down the units. So obviously they're in congregate housing, so they're all living, in kind of a dorm style atmosphere. So, right. We had to kind of lock it down, and not have people do out recreation time or going to programming. So, but now as of this week, we have no positive tests. We have a little over half of our inmates have accepted the vaccination, which is great. The goal was 40%, and we've had over 50% response, so that's good. We're constantly reaching out to the inmates too. We're bringing in medical professionals to talk to them, and pastors, counselors to come in just to encourage them that this is a legitimate thing. It's for your health to get the vaccine, and we're readily available. And we have over, I think, 85% of our staff have got the vaccination. So we're trying to create a very healthy environment here, based on all the COVID guidelines. And we just reopened our programming last week. We brought that was the last portion of our staff that were kind of working at home, but you really can't work from home with the inmates. It's just tough. We have class time here, so our teachers are back, our caseworkers are back, our recovery coaches are back as of last week. So it has become a very busy building again, because and we're really finally getting back to doing the work that I most want to do, and that's helping these men, with the problems that brought them here in the first place. Get our AA programs up and running, get our education programs. We're building out hopefully a new culinary arts program that we're going to teach the inmates, cooking lessons and how to be a prep cook and how to work in a restaurant. We got a landscaping program coming up this summer. I've hired a horticulturist to come in and teach inmates on landscaping techniques and planting. And, the goal is to make sure when they leave our facility that, first and foremost, they have a place to live. They have access to health care. They have the education, the work skills, and hopefully a job. And that puts people on the right path.
Okay. Sounds good.
Any other questions? I know that people are going to be eager to know when the monthly Triad program will restart at the local COAs. It was a part of the fabric of the COA here in Walpole. I know you said you'll have someone assigned soon. So do you anticipate being able to offer, an in-person program like that sometime soon?
Absolutely, yeah. And as Dan mentioned, we're finalizing our team. So we've been hiring our outreach coordinators, and we haven't fully figured out how effectively we're going to do it. But we're hoping the goal is to have somebody that's the go-to person, somebody that you're going to know is going to be assigned to Walpole, and is going to know know the team, understand the programs, and is going to be a very active member. On a monthly basis to be able to be an access and a resource to go around to all the towns and do this. So we should know probably within a few weeks that person, as well as when we're going to actually get back into in-person programming. So the sooner the better is my attitude. As long as it's safe. I obviously want to make sure everybody remains safe, and we don't start the party too early. But I'm ready to go.
Thank you. That's great. Any other questions that people might have? Well, thank you so much. It was a nice review of all the programs that you offer. I kind of forget how much you guys really do for our seniors. So thanks for the reminder. And we can do our best to promote the Are You OK program here some more as well.
And we're going to start getting all that information back out to the COAs to make sure whether it's in your newsletter or website or e-blast, whatever mechanism you use. Hopefully we can get our word out through your organization, which is our partner in this whole thing.
Great. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Well, we'll catch up at some point in the near future. Otherwise, for now, stay safe, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.